Black Sails is very different from any other pirate adventure that you've seen on screen. It's not really a romanticized life. It's about politics, it's about war, it's about survival, it's about slavery. So how would that translate into music? I'd worked with showrunner Jon Steinberg before on a show called Human Target, and on that show we went back to sort of a Indiana Jones kind of orchestral storytelling. That sort of tone would not work at all in Black Sails. So we needed something that was more authentic, more scratchy and rustic and raw. I wanted the score to feel like it's being played on the deck of a ship by weary musicians on broken instruments. The musicians in Black Sails, I treat them more like little folk bands or even rock bands instead of like an orchestra. And I wanted to capture the feeling of everyone playing together. I recorded them in groups. I recorded the percussionists together, and you're going to hear Bowron and Bones, which is a tradition of Irish music that I've never heard featured in a score before. You're going to hear the guitars and fiddle recorded together as what I called the rhythm trio. I recorded these guys together so you can hear them interacting, you hear them improvising together. I wrote for the Calder Quartet, whose sound you've heard on Da Vinci's Demons. The reason I worked with all these musicians is that I knew they would work well together. So it wasn't just that each person is bringing their own sound, it's that as an ensemble, they focus and they're able to interact with one another. And that's a very different kind of sound. And I think it's something that makes Black Sails sound unlike anything else I've ever done. Black Sails also gave me the chance to play some of the weird instruments that I've collected over the years. I play accordion and I play hurdy-gurdy. I've played these in other scores before, but never featured the way they're featured on Black Sails. I actually think my hurdy-gurdy performance is featured on almost every single cue, which was a real challenge for me as a musician, not only as a composer. Sometimes writing a main title for a series comes very easily. The essence of the show translates in my imagination almost immediately into a melody. In the case of Black Sails, it was a challenge because Jon Steinberg was really pushing me out of my comfort zone. I had to really rethink the way in which I even approached music. I kind of needed to get away from my piano and get away from my studio, and I just picked up the hurdy-gurdy and started messing around with it until I came up with a melody that felt sort of like a sea shanty, but a little more strange and a little more evocative. The first sound that you hear is the sound of my hurdy-gurdy as I was tuning it up. And this weird, lopsided, almost out of tune groove started coming out of the instrument. So I just started recording it. And that's actually the first sound you hear during the Black Sails main title. To this day, I've never been able to recreate it. It was like this magic sound that happened. I had the mics on and I was right in front of it. And the weather was right. You know, it wasn't too humid, it wasn't too dry. And the hurdy-gurdy made this sound. I think it's very iconic of the show. Every time I hear it, I go, that's Black Sails. It captures the spirit of the show. These are all broken, sad, almost unlikable characters, and the combination of that hurdy-gurdy groove with the melody that's slower than it should be, to me it just struck that nerve. I think it gets to the core of what the show is about. Wax Sales is airing now on Starz, and in the coming weeks I'm going to introduce you to our musical crew. So join us on this journey.